George Poulos, a proud papa as he goes out to home plate to welcome back his daughters after they sang both the U.S. national anthem and the Canadian national anthem. Lainey Evie and Nikki Poulos did a terrific job, and the team was really supportive. All the players came out and congratulated the girls for a job well done.
Boy, that was exciting to sit up here. We even gave them a standing ovation. That was pretty special.
Terrific. Great ball game here last night. Indians won a 1-0 classic. Michael Brantley had a big game last night. 3 hits in the game last night. He's got an 8-game hit streak, batting .419 during that stretch, and he has really prospered since moving down in the batting order. Top of the order, Chu Cabrera Kipnis. Jose Lopez gets a start at third base this afternoon. Carlos Santana has really struggled with the power part of his ball game. Shelley Duncan back in the lineup in left field. Casey Kochman at first, and Lou Marzin back behind the plate, starting to get the majority of the catching duties for the Indians.
That is the lineup that Aaron Laffey will face. Laffey spent the first 4 years of his major league career with the same Cleveland Indians, so he knows them very well. He also split some time last year with Seattle and the New York Yankees. This year in 7 games, he has made 3 starts, and he's been outstanding. 6 innings at least in all 3 of those starts. There are his numbers. Check out the number against the left-handed hitters, 174 against Laffey. So he's given John Farrell some length, and they'll need it this afternoon. Defensively for the Blue Jays, playing behind Aaron Laffey, they come in with 65 errors this year. Rajay Davis, Rasmussen, Bautista fill out the outfield. Encarnacion with another start at first base. He's been sensational over there.
First pitch of the ball game to Sinshu Chu is down low for a ball. Chu's done a good job since moving into the leadoff spot. He has a .295 average. Got a little speed, got a little power. Drives this ball down the left side. Chu's hit .324 since moving into the leadoff spot. That happened back in the middle of May. I asked him about it this morning. He said, nothing's really different in my approach, but I've noticed that the pitchers are throwing me a lot of off-speed pitches early in the count. A cutter missed downstairs.
That's a little bit of respect, because he can start the game off 1-0 just like that. 20 home run type of power. So you're going to see more breaking balls.
Ground ball. Kelly Johnson to his right, plants and fires. In time, Chu's retired.
Nifty little play right there by Kelly Johnson. Let's take a look at the scouting report brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. And first thing that jumps out, the fastball. If you combine that with the sinker and the cutter, that's 72% of the time he will use his fastball. And that is up slightly from last year. That's the biggest difference, I think, with Aaron Laffey this season. He's using his four-seam fastball a little bit more. He's cutting it, he's sinking it, and more importantly with that fastball, he's pitching a little bit more inside.
Switch hitter Asdrubal Cabrera, the shortstop, is a little late on that outside pitch. Cabrera over the last month has hit just .267. A little bit of a slump, but he is one of the better hitting shortstops in all of baseball. Pops this one up right side of the diamond. Kelly Johnson battling the sun, and Cabrera's down. 2 outs.
Aaron Laffey is the kind of guy with his delivery, the ball could get on you. It doesn't look very hard when you look at that radar gun. He topped out last start at just 86 miles an hour with his fastball, but the way he throws it and his ability to command that fastball, you're going to see a lot of jam shots just like the one we saw off the bat of Cabrera.
Jason Kipnis batting third in this Indian lineup. Takes a strike. Kipnis has hit just .216 against lefty pitching. We mentioned in the opener that the Indians have had their problems against southpaws. Boy, Aaron Laffey is a very confident pitcher right now. 6 innings in each of his first 3 starts, and he has really gotten over being intimidated by the bat.
This is a different pitcher than the one we saw when he first came up with the Cleveland Indians. Different because then it was, okay, I'm going to try and fool you. I'm going to throw more breaking balls, more change-ups. But now, since he has grown up a little bit in the game of baseball and he has throwing more innings. He understands how important his fastball is, and he's got to make those batters hit it, and he will pitch off that fastball a lot more effectively.
1-2. And there's a good example. 88 miles an hour and Kipnis is jammed. Take a look at Laffey's career with the Indians. It started in the big leagues in 2007. Pitched in 79 games, made 49 starts, had a losing record, and an ERA, I guess you could say it's about average.
And look at the whip, 1.5, and that goes back to not being aggressive with that fastball. That's trying to fool people instead of being able to pitch.
Just missed down and away.
1.5 is way too high of a whip. That's a batter and a half on base every inning that you're out there.
Pitching too much out of the stretch. Well, he's made quality pitches, and a lot of it has to do with his mindset. He has worked in the offseason with Buddy Biancalana, who talks a lot about mental preparedness, about visualizing games, and Aaron Laffey certainly has benefited from that. Strike 3 call. Aaron Laffey painting the corners early and gets Jason Kipnis with an inside fastball. The Indians go quietly in the first, including a strikeout to end the inning. Night by Heston Masterson in the Indians bullpen. Kelly Johnson, for his career, has hit well against Cleveland. A couple of triples, 2 home runs. He's driven in 6. Here's the rest of the lineup. Rory Rasmussen, Bautista, and then the middle 3, Encarnacion, Lind, Escobar. Kelly Johnson in the 7th spot. Rajay Davis is 8th, and JP Arancibia is behind the plate.
Yumano Jimenez started the season very slowly for the Cleveland Indians, and he's picked it up of late over his last 7 starts. He is really starting to put up some pretty good numbers. Final start before the All-Star break, Jimenez gave up 2 runs, 5 hits, struck out a season-best 8 for his career versus the Blue Jays. He has had 2 career starts, one with Colorado, one with the Indians. This is his 3rd one. He's 1-0 with a 346 earned run average. A lot like last night starter for the Indians, Justin Masterson.
Good sinking fastball in there for a strike. Brett Laurie. Average has slipped under 290. Laurie was 0 for 4 last night. Hits a hot shot right to Jose Lopez at 3rd. Laurie is retired on the 5-3 ground out.
Let's take a look at the defense for the Cleveland Indians. They come in here 3rd in the American League in fielding percentage with just 46 errors. Shelley Duncan, Michael Brantley, Sun Chu Chu in the outfield. Lopez will get his 25th start at 3rd base. Cabrera Kipnis will form the double play combination up the middle. Lopez has very sweet hands. He's played all around the infield in his career with Seattle, and now over here with Cleveland. Made that one look easy.
Committed just 2 errors so far this year. Colby Rasmus takes a pitch outside from Ubaldo Jimenez. 2-0. Last time the Blue Jays saw Jimenez was the game 2 of the season. He and Brandon Morrow hooked up in a pitching classic. Both starters went 7 innings, and they each allowed just 1 hit. The 1 hit that Morrow allowed was a 2-run home run to Kipnis, and other than that, he was perfect. That was then a couple of unearned runs as J.P. Aaron-Sebe committed an error just ahead of the home run by Kipnis. 3-1 to Rasmus.
He ended up getting no decision in that game because that one ended up going into extra innings. Followed that up with a couple of decent outings and then went into a rough spot.
Rasmus takes the walk. They go to first with 1 out.
Here are some of the highlights from that game that you were talking about, second game of the season. He's got a good fastball. Everybody knows that, and at times he falls in love with his breaking ball too much. One thing we'll watch this afternoon is, does he have the type of control that he needs? In that game against the Blue Jays, he had 3 walks and 3 strikeouts, but he is up there in in base on balls in the American League. Throws a lot of pitches.
Jose Bautista has never gotten a hit against Jimenez. He's 0 for 12. Jimenez retired the first 17 Blue Jays he faced in that last start in Cleveland.
I remember he had a good fastball, and he used it a lot. Threw a lot of sinkers in that game.
Colby Rasmus with the walk. He was the first man to reach against Jimenez back in April with that 2-out walk. Three and 1 count to Jose Bautista, 1 out. Bautista had tossed the bat back toward the dugout, anticipating ball 4.
A little bit of a delay from the home plate umpire. Let's see from the side if this pitch is a strike. It might have been right at the knees.
So it's a 3-2 count. Chad Fairchild, the home plate umpire. Rasmus hits first. He's on the move. Bautista fouls it off and stays alive. Rasmus was moving on the pitch, and Bautista had to reach for it to foul it off. Ball 4. That time Rasmus was holding his ground at first. Back-to-back 1-out walks issued by Jimenez, and that's what we told you. He's averaged 5.12 walks per 9 innings.
So you've got to be able to lay off of those tough pitches. This is the scouting report on Jimenez. Fastball 56% of the time. Change, curveball, slider, and he's got a splitter also. Early in the year he's throwing it a lot. Now he's backed off of that. Last start he just threw 2 splitters the whole game. More of a fastball slider type of pitcher, using his curveball a little bit more. But he just needs to establish that he can throw his fastball over for strikes, or where he wants to put it. You can see he's got a lot of moving parts in his delivery, and I think that really hurts him trying to command that fastball.
Edwin Encarnacion. High and deep to right. Chu's got room. Rasmus tagging at second. Bautista tagging. Bautista will hold while Rasmus moves to third. Encarnacion hit it well, but it died on the warning track in right. So Adam Lind will step in with 2 outs. And this is where the Blue Jays need to produce. Their left-handed hitters have to do a job against Jimenez. The league has hit .265 from the left side against the big right-hander. He's tough on righties, but lefties have had some success, and Lynn's got to deliver.
They've also hit 9 home runs against Jimenez from the left side.
First pitch strike. Deep to right, Chew back at the wall. It's off the top of the fence. Rasmus is in to score. Bautista's being waved home. The throw is to the middle of the diamond, and Lynn does deliver. A 2-out, 2-run double off the wall in right, and the Jays are up on top 2-0.
Since Adam Lynn has come back from Las Vegas, he's a different hitter. Much more free at the plate. He's got better balance. You see better bat speed, and the ball is jumping off his bat like it did a couple of years ago. Breaking ball from Jimenez, and this ball is golfed to right field, right off the top of the wall. He comes with a couple of feet from hitting a home run against Jimenez. But don't you just love the 2-out RBI situations and then delivering for the Blue Jays?
It's a psychological blow to the pitcher. He's 1 out away from going back to the dugout, getting out of the inning, and then that 2-out, 2-run double nearly puts him in a funk. Then RBIs 21 and 22. Popped up on the right side. Casey Kochman battling the sun and stays with it and makes the catch. But the Blue Jays, a couple of walks and a 2-out double by Adam Lynn have put Ubaldo Jimenez in a hole early. Lynn just missing a home run, top of the fence in right, but it drives in 2. Chuck and Tabby's Edge Walk, just 11 days to go, and we're going to walk around the edge of the CN Tower. I hope it's a day like today. It's spectacular up there. For more information, you can log on to BlueJays.com/edgewalk. We will be doing that for the charity of the Jays Care Foundation, and that's the perspective we'll be looking at. And I think I could probably throw somebody out at second from there, but I'm not sure. But that's just 11 days to go. Log on to BlueJays.com and get more information. The top 4 donors to the charity will join Pat and I on that edge walk. And the top 20 donors, plus 1 guest each, will enjoy a ball game from a luxury suite at the Rogers Center, including a post-edge walk breakdown. Might be a breakdown during the edge walk.
It's for a great cause, and it's for the Jays Care Foundation. And log on there and throw in whatever you can, whatever it takes, because it's going to a good cause.
And we will have some fun after that walk. As we mentioned, 20 guests, 20 Donors and their guest will join us in a pregame get-together to talk about the Edge Walk and talk about that game that night. It's July 25th. Oakland will be into town, and Jay's Care has done a great job in the community and across Canada supporting children from coast to coast. So we want you to get involved and come up top of CN Tower and join Pat and I on July 25th.
We'll see if we can get them up here in the booth also before that game. See what it's like from our vantage point.
We can do a lot of things, Pat. We've got a lot of juice. We can get them right up here anytime we want. Jose Lopez starting at third base this afternoon against Aaron Laffey. Did he check the appeal down to Gonzalo or Alfonso Marquez at first, and he says no swing. Aaron Laffey had a 1-2-3 top half of the first. Right back up the middle, and Lopez will start things off with a leadoff single.
Not your prototypical cleanup type of hitter. He's 4 home runs and 27 RBIs for Lopez. And it's an attack by the Indians that they have to piece things together. They have some decent team speed. They don't have a lot of power. So Manny Acta's team's got to do a couple of different things offensively to help them score runs.
Now, if you break it down just statistically and you look at the run differential, a lot of people suspect that Cleveland's going to fade out of the race. But they have a very favorable schedule for the second half of the season. Carlos Santana has been a big problem for the Indians. He hasn't produced the way they expected.
Pitchers are starting to do what they have done to Brett Lawrie this year. Second year in the big league, starting to throw a lot more off-speed pitches in fastball counts. And Santana just hasn't been able to make that adjustment yet. He's a very good fastball hitter. He takes a big swing when he makes up his mind to go ahead and swing the bat.
26 years old now, and you can see his struggles have been dramatic over the last couple of weeks. 179 average.
And these are the spots where he's had trouble. 2-0. He looks for a fastball. Pitchers cross him up. Maybe throw something a little bit off speed. He's been out in front.
Laffey's behind 3-0. And Laffey's been staked to a 2-0 lead. As we mentioned, he pitched 6 innings in each of his first 3 starts.
Yeah, this is where John Farrell would love to see his starter really stay aggressive and get his team back into that dugout. Put the pressure and keep that pressure on the Cleveland Indians. Going to have to make a pitch here.
Hitters count 3-1. Lopez at first. Three and two. This is where you might expect the Indians to start the runner at first early in the ball game. As Pat mentioned, they don't have a whole lot of power. They can't sit back and slug with it. Lopez is not a real speed merchant, but you might stay out of a double play if you start the run. Not running. Fouled off at the plate.
Not a very big lead, nor a very big secondary lead for Lopez at first base.
Indians are 11th in the American League in home runs. They just don't have a lot of power, and Travis Hafner with a home run last night, the only run in the ball game. Cleveland has now hit 79 home runs. To give you some perspective for that, Blue Jays have hit 127. Full count. Outside, first 2 reach here in the top of the second. Leadoff single and a walk. Michael Brantley had a big night last night, a pair of singles and a double. He finished up 3 for 4 on the night. Brantley is the son of Mickey Brantley, who used to be a hitting coach here for the Blue Jays. And he has really flourished since they dropped him out of the top of the order, moved him in the middle of the order, and his average is creeping in on 300.
Well, he's got the type of game that I think hits better down in the lineup. He's got a short swing. Doesn't strike out a whole lot. He's very, very tough to strike out. Makes contact and hits the ball from foul line to foul line. When you watch him hit and his approach at the plate, reminiscent a little bit of Garrett Anderson, great hitter of the Los Angeles Angels. Never out of control when he swings the baseball bat.
Good balance and has the ability to drive the ball to all parts of the field. This one's up the middle. Escobar gets it behind second. High throw, and Encarnacion is off the bag. Well, Escobar made a terrific play to keep that ball on the infield. He stretched far to his left, gloved it, thought momentarily about flipping it to Kelly Johnson, but Kelly wasn't going to get to second. The only play he had was to first.
Yeah, he made the right call there. He had thoughts of possibly flipping it over to Johnson, but that wouldn't have worked. So then the last resort is trying to get the ball over to first base. Watch him right there. He's thinking about it, but it was just going to be too tough of a throw over to second base. So it goes to first. It's a little bit high, and Brantley beats it out. It's got to be a base hit. Heck of a play by Escobar.
2 hits and a walk in the inning, and the bases are loaded for a power hitting Shelley Duncan. Duncan starting in left field. Inside. Eight home runs for Shelley Duncan. He's driven in 21, but he's hit .370 since June 27th. This is his first look at Aaron Laffey.
And close up the middle of the diamond also. The Blue Jays defensively got this shift on against the right-handed hitting Duncan.
2-0.
You can see Johnson, the second baseman, right behind the bag. And it looks like they're going to try and pound him inside. Make him hit his way through that shift on the left side of the diamond.
He's a big power hitter that likes to extend his arms out over the plate. 2-0 pitch. That hit him. So just like that, the 4 batters to start this inning have all reached, and now Lopez comes in to score, and it's a 2-1 game. So in an effort to crowd Shelley Duncan, Laffey hits him and forces in a run.
So sharp in the first inning. Got ahead of each one of those batters, got them 1, 2, 3, and now in this inning he has fallen behind every one of them, and they have all reached base. This is where you really have to trust your fastball. Don't change a thing. Use the fastball, put it in a good spot, and good things are going to happen. Blue Jays are going to play the infield back. They will trade a run for 2 outs.
Casey Kochman, lefty against lefty, but you'll be amazed at the numbers. He is 9 for 10 against Aaron Laffey. It's amazing how those types of streaks can happen. I mean, Kochman has never been thought of as being a great hitter, but here he is against a left-hander, and he's got 9 for 10 against him.
Yeah, hit 300 for the first time in his career last year with Tampa Bay. Whenever I see those types of numbers, the first thing I think about is, he knows something.
Should be 2. Escobar to Johnson, back to first, double play. Kochman is out on the double play, but the Indians have tied it up as Santana comes in to score. Minimize the damage, and that's what the Blue Jays did by playing the infield back.
Yeah, they will trade that run for a couple of outs to make things a little bit easier on Aaron Laffey. Ball hit right at Escobar. It gives a good feed to Johnson, and completes the double play.
Escobar has played very well of late in the field.
87 times now the Blue Jays have turned a double play. That was a big one.
Number 9 hitter is the catcher, Lou Marson. Marson had a broken bat single into right last night. He finished up the night 1 for 3, struck out twice. Two-two ball game. Michael Brantley at third. Marsden fouls it off. Marsden kept that heat streak alive last night with that broken bat single to right. Stretched it out to 8 games. He's played a lot more regularly of late. He started 9 of the last 14 games for Cleveland behind the plate.
Pitchers like throwing to him. He calls good game, and the only thing that has ever kept him out of the lineup is his bat. Starting to come around this year. His average is good at 295. He's got less than 100 at bats, and he's got 8 RBIs. So they need a little bit more production from him.
1-2. Cut out and miss. Lafley strikes Morrison out to end the inning, but the Indians take advantage of 2 singles and a walk. They score a couple of runs. Lafley strikes out the catcher Lou Morrison to end the inning. It's 2-2, middle of the second. Play Sunday, July 29th, when the Blue Jays take on the Detroit Tigers. The game starts at 1:07 p.m. The first 20,000 fans will receive a sports bag courtesy of Mr. Sub. Call the Blue Jays for tickets at 416-341-1234. You can also log on to BlueJays.com and order your tickets, or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. Pick up your tickets for Mr. Sub Sports Bag Day. Kelly Johnson, the second baseman, will start things off for the Jays. Ubaldo Jimenez back to square one. He gave up a 2-run, 2-out double to Adam Lind, and his team has stormed back with 2 of their own.
A couple of walks in the first inning by Jimenez, and wouldn't you know it, they come around to score. And just like that, he falls behind 3-0.
His biggest challenge for Jimenez has been his command. Obviously, he's got great stuff. 2010, a 19-game winner for Colorado, and a leadoff walk.
The Blue Jays on Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware and building center location. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Gorgeous Saturday afternoon here in Toronto. Lake Ontario is brilliant with the bright sun. Rajay Davis takes the first pitch strike. Jimenez was an all-star in 2010. He had a phenomenal first half of the season. I believe he had 15 wins at the all-star break.
And a no-no.
Davis shows bunt, pulls the bat back. Threw that no-hitter against Atlanta. I mean, he was the most dominant pitcher in baseball for that 1 year.
And then all of a sudden it's left him. He didn't have this kind of bouts of wildness that we have seen over the last couple of years, and then got traded from the Rockies to the Indians. And the Indians invested a lot of money in terms of players also in Jimenez.
Drew Pomerantz, a very talented prospect, and Alex White, 2 pitching prospects that are highly coveted in this day and age. But the Indians had a nice lead at the midway point. Felt like if they could pick up a quality arm like Jimenez, that they would have a shot to make it to the postseason. Well, it just didn't pan out for them. He won 15 games in 2009 and added to that in 2010. There goes the runner. Popped up to right. Kelly Johnson slid into second. Now he's got a rush to get back to first. Asdrubal Cabrera did a good job, the shortstop, coming over to the bag, acting as if there was going to be a play. Kelly Johnson slid into second and quickly popped to his feet and raced back to first.
That would have worked out nicely for the Blue Jays if Rajai Davis could have gotten that ball on the ground. Johnson would be standing at least second base with just 1 out.
So 1 out now for the catcher, J.P. Arencibi, who steps into the batter's box. This is a real fine line against Jimenez. You know you have to make him throw strikes, but at the same time he throws so hard you have a tendency to want to start the bat early.
I think you have to be very patient with him until he proves that he can pour pitch after pitch into the strike zone.
This is popped up behind second. Kipnis battling the sun. Now he's got a beat on it. Arencibi is retired. We mentioned Ubaldo Jimenez coming in a trade with the Colorado Rockies, and when you look at his early numbers with the Rockies, he was pretty good in the last 3 major league seasons. There's that all-star season 2010, but since then he's managed just 18 wins.
Yeah, look at the home runs allowed, look at the opponent's batting average and the whip. He never had the walk problem that we are starting to see now in Cleveland that he had in Colorado. Just 1.1 whip, now 1.4. And with that walk to Kelly Johnson to lead off this inning, Ubaldo Jimenez has taken over the lead in the American League with the most walks, 61 of them now.
3 in this ballgame. Brett Lawrie grounded out to third his first time up.
You got to figure at some point, 2 outs, you got the leadoff hitter up. Kelly Johnson's got to take a chance in getting himself into scoring position.
He's 7 for 8 in steals. There he goes. Foul back.
And Jimenez, with that long, exaggerated motion towards the plate, has given up 13 stolen bases this year.
13 out of 16. Base runners have only been caught 3 times while Jimenez is on the mound. A very long, deliberate delivery from that set position.
Pick out a good one to run on and see if you can get there.
Off-speed pitch for a strike. 2-2 to Brett Lawrie. There goes Johnson. No throw from Marsden. It was interesting. Kipnis had covered the bag at second, but Marsden never appeared to have a thought about making a throw. Stolen base number 8 for Johnson.
Watch Marsden, the catcher, smothers the ball. It almost looked like he was fooled by the pitch.
Sure did. He got his glove flipped around, and there's another walk. That's 4 walks already issued by Jimenez.
You know, he is just flirting with disaster, putting this many base runners on base every inning. So Manny Acta is going to come out and have a word with his starter.
It's interesting. It's not the pitching coach, Scott Radinsky, but the manager who chooses to come to the mound.
Let's see.
He looks like he's got a very kind of disgusted look on his face. Hey, listen, fellas, your stuff is so good. Let's shoot for the middle of the plate.
Yeah, let's see who does all the talking right here. It looks like Manny Acta. guys, we can't keep putting this many runners on base. You're going to be out by the 5th inning.
Certainly has a dramatic effect when the manager goes to the mound and not the pitching coach. He had a very distinct message he wanted to get over to Jimenez.
And now if I'm Colby Rasmus, I'm looking for that first pitch.
First pitch fastball. Rasmus has good numbers against Jimenez. He is 7 for 18. He walked in his first at bat. Johnson at second, Laurie at first. 2 outs. Got the breaking ball over for a strike. Home run cut, off speed pitch. Rasmus was out in front.
I think they have seen the scouting report on Colby Rasmus that he likes to swing early and often.
And he likes the fastball.
And he likes the fastball. White Sox started throwing him a lot of off-speed pitches early in the count in Chicago right before the break.
High fastball and a very good visit by the manager to the mound. Maniaca went to the mound and say, hey, Ubaldo, strike this next guy out. Let's get out of this inning. After 2, it's 2-all. Fans, a reminder, you can learn all about baseball. Blue Jays insider Shai Davidi and Mike Cormack cover all the latest Blue Jays news and news around baseball. Log on to sportsnet.ca for the latest Blue Jays information and information from all around the big leagues. Shai Davidi and Mike Cormack will keep you up to date on everything. Top of the order. Leadoff man, Sin Shu Chu, ducks away from an inside pitch. Boy, quite a difference for Aaron Laffey. He had a perfect 1-2-3 first inning and then had problems in the second.
Fell behind all those hitters in the second inning.
Who drives it to left field? Rajai Davis on the run, will not get there. Davis reached out as if he thought he was going to make the catch and missed the ball, and it bounces out of play for a ground rule double.
That ball was slicing back toward Rajai Davis, and with his great speed, it looked like he had a chance at making that play in left field. Chu's got good power to the gaps, powers that one. There's Davis with his speed. He reaches out, and it's just out of his reach for a leadoff double for Chu.
27th double of the season for the Indians right fielder. So here come the Indians. Leadoff man's aboard again.
Asdrubal Cabrera, I think, is a perfect number 2 hitter for the Cleveland Indians. He's a switch hitter. He can handle that bat. He's got power if you make a mistake. And these situations right here are made for him. Move that runner over to third base.
Well, and then he can certainly play it by the count. As long as he's got the count in his favor, he can think about driving him in. Once he falls behind, he switches gears.
Yeah, he's that good of a hitter with power.
Thinking about driving him in with that big swing. It's a ball and a strike. Cabrera's hit .306 with runners in scoring position. Chu is there now at second. Neither club had a base hit with runners in scoring position last night. A 1-0 game. Another fastball. Interesting. It's 86 miles an hour. And when you compare him to Ubaldo Jimenez, it's about 8 miles an hour, 9 miles an hour slower. But still, the deception and the placement and movement are effective for Aaron Laffey.
Yeah, which one of those pitchers are getting batters jammed up? And it's Laffey's ability to cut that ball in on righties.
1-2. Let's see if Cabrera shifts gears now. Shoots it to right. Once you fall back behind the pitcher, you've got to have a productive at bat in this situation with the leadoff double.
After that curveball, this might be a good time to cut that fastball in the inner half.
Took a shot at it.
See how he jammed him up? Cabrera was surprised by that speed. Again, just 88 miles an hour. If he could have kept it on the plate just a little bit more, he would have got the call.
He went to where it chased, and he says, why don't you check with the first base umpire? But Chad Fairchild said, I had you all the way.
Yeah, he said, I don't have to. I only check if the catcher asked me, but I was all over this one. Like a changeup in the dirt, and Cabrera went around.
Third strikeout for Laffey, and it's a big one. After that leadoff double, Cabrera strikes out and can't move the base runner up. Jason Kipnis, he was caught looking at strike 3 to end the first inning. Can see all the Indian hitters are a little bit in between. Do I get out in front? Do I stay back? And they're just a touch off so far against Aaron Laffey.
Yeah, just not familiar with them. This is the first time that Laffey has started against his former organization.
Another great example, 86 miles an hour, and Kipnis is checking his bat to see if he broke it.
Little jam sandwich right there, running that fastball in on his hand. Kipnis is a good hitter, and I think he's just going to get better and better. You can see he's got a plan at the plate. He is their team leader in RBIs this year with 49.
Now you can expand the zone if you're Laffey. Kipnis is in a chase mode. A little bit too good a pitch right there in my mind.
Yeah, 0-2. He's got confidence. Tried bouncing one of those curveballs.
He hasn't thrown many curveballs, but he's got a good one, and if you use it properly in a situation like this, might get you another strikeout. That's what Kipnis is thinking. He's protected against that off-speed pitch with 2 strikes.
And that's what pitching is all about. Having an idea, read some of the bats. The guys get in the mind of the hitter. Figure out what he's trying to do, and then just do the opposite.
There's that breaking ball, looped into left. Davis got a late break, but he's able to get there. 1 out. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. He's got an update for us. Jerome Williams just coming off the disabled list, making the start for New York. Or excuse me, for the Angels against New York. He's up against Freddie Garcia. Garcia's had a pretty good start, filling in that rotation. A lot of players just off the disabled list right after the All-Star break.
Yeah, we were talking about that before the game. There are a lot of them that are now starting to get back. The biggest ones, I guess, are Matt Kemp and Andre Ethier for the Dodgers.
Came back with the Dodgers last night. Jacoby Ellsbury made his return to Boston. Clay Buchholz returns today for the Red Sox in the rotation. Sounds like Carl Crawford will be back early next week. Just in time for the Blue Jays.
Yeah. Isn't that the way it always is?
CC Sabathia will return when we go to New York next week.
Yeah, he's scheduled to start on Tuesday. Come off the disabled list.
Kansas City got a couple of players back. Lorenzo Cain and Chris Getz, the second baseman. They got a center fielder back. And everybody's a little bit healthier now. They used those 4 days during the All-Star break to extend that rehab period and make sure those players are as healthy as can be mid-season. Jose Lopez singled and scored in the second. Takes a strike. It's 2-1. Pulled to third. Rhett Laurie will tag out Chu and get out of the inning. So the leadoff double didn't do a thing against Aaron Laffey. Blue Jays will start with Jose Bautista. He walked and scored. Edwin Encarnacion and Adam Lind, a 2-run double already this afternoon. Blue Jays camp out day here at Rogers Center. The fans will be able to camp out on the field here at Rogers Center after this ball game, and it seems to be a very popular day as a lot of people have lined up. They've got their tents and their sleeping bags, and everybody's looking forward to a big night here. Wonder if they're going to leave the roof open so they can see the stars.
Oh, that's a great idea. And then eventually close it. They get to watch baseball movies on the big screen.
It's awesome. Great time. Blue Jays doing a good job on Junior Day Saturday, and they've included a little camp out tonight. Blue Jays would love to put up a W for them so they can have a good night's sleep here. Jose Bautista walked his first time up. We mentioned Bautista's never had a hit against Jimenez. He's 0 for 12. When you really look at it, the Blue Jays have only hit 136 against Jimenez in their head-to-head matchups. He drives this ball to center field. Brantley is not going to get it. It splits the outfielders. Chu plays it on the hop, and Bautista slides into second with a double. There's his first hit off Jimenez. An opposite field double to start the third.
Hit it hard into the gap in right center field. It looked like Brantley and Chu got their signals crossed just a little bit. Who was going to go ahead and take control of that? It looked like Chu was going to have the best chance because this ball is feathering back to him in right field. Brantley calls it and then backs off. Chu went right back to back up Brantley. Jose will certainly take that leadoff double.
Well, the Indians had a leadoff double in the top half of this inning. They couldn't cash it in. Edwin Encarnacion drove one to the warning track in right his first time up. 2-2 ball game. Kipton is calling for the ball at second, and Bautista is back safely. See that infielder open up that bare hand, and that's the signal to throw it to me. I think we got a shot.
And just throw it to the bag. I'll be there. I think Kipnis picked up that Bautista was thinking about it. I'll just say thinking about trying to steal third base. If nobody was going to pay attention to me, let's see if I can get out here as far as possible.
Well, he's got a big lead. Foul tip on the check swing. Just clipped his bat. It's 2-1 on Encarnacion. Outside. To me, this is the biggest improvement in Edwin's approach from last year to this year, is his ability to lay off borderline pitches.
Seeing the ball a lot better, even when they throw breaking balls and fastball counts.
High and deep to left, and you can forget about this one. Edwin Encarnacion, number 24.
You know, his last time up, he just missed hitting a home run to right field. Sent Chu all the way to the warning track in deep right field. This time he was going to make sure he got it over the fence. Jimenez has now given up 15 home runs this year, just the 6th to a right-hander. He wanted that ball away, and he got it up. You see it come back over the middle of the plate, and Edwin jumps all over it. About belt high in the middle of the dish.
Boy, what a pretty swing. Full extension on that high fastball, and there was no doubt about that one. Adam Lind. Lind had a 2-run double off the top of the fence in right his first time up. His 9th double of the season. Back up the middle. Cabrera behind second. Dives to first. Not in time. Throw was off the line. Base hit for Lind. He's 2 for 2.
Seen Cabrera make that play plenty of times. He's got good range for a shortstop and a very accurate arm. He elects to throw from his knees. You can see him playing up the middle. Gets to it. Throws from that one knee, and that's the problem. That ball really sailed on him. Didn't feel like he had time to get under his feet and get his feet set and throw accurately over first base.
Well, you're right. If he pops to his feet, he can get much more on it, and it'd be a much more accurate throw. But Lind will take the infield hit. Cunel Escobar, boy, middle of this order has done damage. Bautista with an opposite field double. Encarnacion a 2-run homer. And now Lind with a single. Breaking ball off the plate. The Blue Jays had just one hit against Jimenez the last time they faced him. Game 2 of the season. 7 innings. He held the Blue Jays just one hit.
He was sharp. He had a good fastball and a good changeup that afternoon.
High and deep to left field, and this one is gone. Second deck for Cunel Escobar.
We were talking last night how Cunel Escobar has had some good rounds of batting practice, standing up right just a little bit more at the plate than Blaine Murphy has him, pulling the ball and has him getting that bat head out. Perfect form right there. Watch him stand up right and just crush this ball to left center field.
His 6th home run of the season, his 50th career home run, goes into the second deck deep in left center. 4 straight hits this inning.
That is torched. You can get right into that home run trot as soon as you hit that one.
Kelly Johnson drives it to center. That's over Brantley's head, off the wall. Johnson is into second with a stand-up double. 5 straight hits off Jimenez.
5 straight line drives. 4 extra base hits. 9th double of the season for Johnson. Ball's carrying to left field. And Jimenez right now, he's not fooling anyone.
He is not missing the bat. Scott Barnes, the left-hander, is starting to throw for the Indians down in their bullpen. Johnson is second. Still nobody out. Rajai Davis thinking about a bunt and pulls the bat back. A 4-run inning and still nobody out.
Just keep tacking them on any way you can. Get them over or get them in.
Took a shot at the right side and lined it into the seats. Ricky Romero's got to be thinking, where was this last night?
Just give me one of those 2-run home runs and I would have been fine.
We'd have been laughing. There goes Kelly Johnson. He got a great break from second and steals third easily. Kelly Johnson's second steal of the afternoon. Marsden had no chance. Kelly Johnson got a running start at second.
And how about the alert play by Davis to let that ball go? Watch, he just walks right off. No one cuts in behind him, and no chance for Marsden to get him at third base. So the infield has to come in.
Davis fouls it off. It's 2-2.
And as a hitter, you love that when you see the infield in, a man on third base, less than 2 outs. Count in your favor. Time to do some damage.
Jimenez was in a tough spot in the second and struck out Colby Erasmus with 2 aboard. Strikes out Davis. That's the first out of the inning. The breaking ball got Rajai Davis. Only the second strikeout for Jimenez. 2 more home runs here this afternoon. A pair of 2-run shots in this inning. Edwin Encarnacion, Yunel Escobar. And the Blue Jays have leaned heavily on the home run all season long.
What happens when they do not hit a home run in a game? They're just 8-13. Today they've had multiple home run games, and that bodes well for the record.
J.P. Arancibia. Big insurance run at third base. Less than 2 outs. You got to knock him in. He's got 41 ribbies for the season. And he's sizing up Jimenez.
Yeah, he's done a good job of getting runners in from third base in less than 1 out. Becomes a little bit more disciplined hitter. Just thinking about lofting the ball into the outfield.
Jimenez has been behind all afternoon. It's really cost him. Only 4 first pitch strikes. 2-1 now. Arancibia can expand his zone a little bit. He's got a hitter count. He just needs something up that he can drive to the outfield.
Jimenez has given up more fly balls this year.
There's a drive deep to right center. Chu will watch this one bang off the warning track up against the fence. Arancibia got that pitch up out over the plate and cashes in his 12th double of the season. It's a 5-run inning.
Jimenez just cannot get the ball where he wants it. Larson, the catcher, wants the ball down. It's a breaking ball, and it's going to cost him the afternoon.
Jose Bautista got this inning started. He doubled to right center. Encarnacion hit a line drive home run. Lind an infield hit. Another 2-run home run. A double by Johnson, and now this double by J.P. Arancibia knocks Ubaldo Jimenez right out of the ball game. Blue Jays have scored 5 here in the 3rd inning, and there's just 1 out. Left-hander Scott Barnes comes out of the Indians bullpen. Went double home run, and then Lind singled, and Escobar hit a 2-run home run. Kelly Johnson doubled, and after a strikeout, J.P. Arancibia knocked Ubaldo Jimenez right out of the ball game. Scott Barnes making his 6th appearance of the season will try to cool off the red-hot Blue Jays.
Indians got Scott Barnes in 2009 from the San Francisco Giants from Ryan Garco. He's basically a lefty specialist. Sinking 2-seam fastball, a little bit of a slider, below average curveball. Got a solid feel for his changeup. He's going to be the long man out of the bullpen for Manny Acta this afternoon.
Brett Lawrie over Kachman's glove into right. Here comes Arancibia. Laurie's headed to second. There'll be no throw. 6 runs this inning. It's an 8-2 Blue Jays lead.
Well, we were asking for more doubles a couple of weeks ago, and we're starting to see that now offensively from the Blue Jays. 4th double of the inning. This one right off the end of the bat by Lawrie, just out of the reach of Kachman by the time Chu can run that one down. Lawrie thinking double all the way, and he'll make it easily.
Blue Jays have hit 5 doubles in this ballgame. Their season high is 6. It came on April 15th against the Orioles. A lot of game left. Colby Erasmus, the 9th man to bat this inning. 8 runs on 8 hits for the Jays. And major damage. 7 extra base hits, 1 single. 0-2. Left-handers just 1 for 11 against Barnes this year.
Got that little bit of a hesitation in his delivery.
There goes Lawrie for third. Swing and a miss. Strikeout. Lawrie steals third.
But if you're not going to pay attention to him, Blue Jays always looking to move up 90 feet. Rasmus swings through that breaking ball, and Lawrie aggressively slides into third base, just ahead of the tag from Lopez. Steal number 12 on the season.
Jose Bautista started it all with an opposite field double. He's been on base twice and has scored twice. Blue Jays season high and runs in an inning is 7. They've done that twice. Once against the Angels and once against Baltimore.
How about extra base hits now? 7 extra base hits in the game, and it's only the 3rd inning.
Their season high in extra base hits is 8. Bautista checks in time. They've had 8 extra base hits twice this season. Most recently against the White Sox on Sunday before the All-Star break. Bautista pulls it wide of third. Blue Jays are going to have to use this kind of offense in the second half. They've got a tough schedule ahead. Going to have to give their pitchers plenty of run support.
We showed that in the opening yesterday that the Blue Jays are just 2.5 games out of the wild card, but there's 5 or 6 teams ahead of them. Well, they have a chance now. 3 of those teams are the next 3 opponents for the Blue Jays: the Indians, the Yankees, and the Red Sox.
Bautista looks at one down and in. To give you an idea how potent the Jays are, they are 2nd in the American League in runs scored, behind the Texas Rangers. They trail the Rangers by 9 runs. Don't look at me like that.
Just checking your numbers there, man. That's pretty impressive because we know how good the Texas Rangers are.
And the Blue Jays are right there with them.
Right there with them.
So Bautista walks for a 2nd time this afternoon. And Edwin Encarnacion, he hit a line drive home run into the seats to get this inning started. 60 RBIs now for Encarnacion.
3-1 pitch. He's going to try a keyhole fastball, and he gets it and puts it on a line out of here with the Blue Jays scoring in this inning.
He was loaded up looking for something inside.
Just signed that big contract the other day. You know he wanted to get off to a good start. To prove it that the Blue Jays made a good investment. I'm sure that home run will go a long way.
Good cut and an off-speed pitch. Edwin's an interesting story. Came to Toronto in the Scott Rowland trade with Cincinnati. Had trouble staying healthy, had wrist problems. Was sent to the minor leagues in 2010. Was put on waivers and claimed by Oakland. Blue Jays got him back in a waiver claim. But he has really worked hard. He and Jose Bautista are very close. And Bautista has always been a big supporter of Edwin Encarnacion, always encouraging the club. Hey, give him a chance. Let him play. I know he can hit.
I remember him saying that to you and I one day. Don't forget about Encarnacion.
Lays off that inside pitch. But they have really formed a potent tandem in the middle of the Blue Jays lineup.
Best in baseball when it comes to home runs.
125 RBIs combined. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Big inning for the Blue Jays. 6 runs in already. Way outside. Full count. Bautista at first will be off on the pitch. Brett Lawrie's at third. He walked it, and the bases are loaded. Six walks issued by the Cleveland Indians here this afternoon. Adam Lind has had a perfect start to his afternoon, a 2-run double and a single. He's also scored a run.
Boy, those added base runners every inning via the walk, you're just asking for trouble.
Laurie at third, Bautista at second, Encarnacion at first. Breaking ball off the plate inside. Blue Jays have 2 grand slams this year. Edwin Encarnacion and Colby Rasmus. Lind has 3 for his career.
Very patient. It's almost like he is making Barnes throw a strike. Take your shot right here. 2-0.
Absolutely. Break it wide open. There's a strike. Ubaldo Jimenez started the ball game and started this inning. 2-2. Now back to breaking ball.
Adam Lind was sitting on a breaking ball there. I think he was sitting on that breaking ball the whole count. Took a couple of fastballs right down the middle. I think he was looking for off-speed pitch so he can torch one.
Another 2-2 pitch. Up the middle, and that's going to sneak into center. Lowry's in to score. Bautista's right behind him, and Lind's having a big day. Eight runs this inning, the biggest inning of the season for the Blue Jays, and Lind has driven in 4.
Just missed a 3-run home run his first time up. That was 2 RBIs. He got an infield single in this inning and then comes up with a second hit in the inning, a 2-run single. Good plate coverage right there. Slider down and away from Barnes, and Lind can reach it and bang it back through the middle. Boy, if his bat comes around, put him with Encarnacion and Bautista in the middle lineup. It's a pretty good lineup.
Well, that's what John Farrell was really looking for, is some left-handed production deeper in the lineup. He's had Colby Erasmus step up batting in the 2 spot. But now if Lind can provide some pop from the left side of the plate, this is going to be a very difficult lineup to work your way through. Lind is 3 for 3, and he's driven in 4. Yunel Escobar, a 2-run home run earlier this inning. His 50th career home run. Looks like Escobar caught Marsden on the backswing. So he was reaching for that off-speed pitch. Got out in front of that bat.
Looked like Marsden was ducking out of the way again from that backswing from Escobar.
Stays alive as he fouls back that outside pitch. Blue Jays have scored 8 times here this inning on 8 hits. way outside. Mentioned Adam Lind with 3 hits already this afternoon since he's been recalled from Las Vegas. He's hit .333 and driven in 13 runs in 15 games.
There's your production right there from the left side in the middle of the lineup.
Strike 3 called, and the inning comes to an end. Escobar caught looking at a fastball, but what an inning by the Blue Jays. Their biggest inning of the season, 8 runs, fueled by a couple of 2-run home runs. Edwin Encarnacion, number 24. He got it started, and Escobar goes deep, his 50th career home run. It's 10-2 Blue Jays. Place at noon, you can get your daytime baseball fix with Sam Cosentino and Dirk Hayhurst on Baseball Central at noon. Weekdays on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, and right here on Rogers Sportsnet. Dirk Hayhurst is doing a filling job for the radio. He is filling in for Alan Ashby over the weekend, working with Jerry Howard on the Fan 590. And he said he enjoyed his first day and looking forward to the rest of the weekend. There's Dirk on the right with Jerry Howard. Piece of cake, Dirk. No problem at all.
Yeah, just do everything Jerry says.
Yep.
And you'll be fine.
Jerry drives the boat. You just sit back and relax. Carlos Santana. 2 balls and a strike. Santana walked and scored in that second inning. Ground ball. Escobar waits on. It's got plenty of time. 1 down.
Save during the plumbing, cooling, and electrical sale. Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Aaron Laffey with a comfortable lead here. Works in the 4th. Michael Brantley's had a great series. Already 4 hits in this series. Singled his first time up. Had a 3-hit game last night. Average at .296.
.340 in his career versus the Blue Jays. Nice easy swing. Got an idea.
You mentioned the fact that he's a much better hitter down in the order. Oftentimes hitters will be put in that leadoff spot and think they have to walk, become very defensive,
or they have to see more pitches or work the count or whatever you want to say. That's why I think what Brett Lawrie's doing, since they moved him into the leadoff spot, not that typical leadoff hitter. He's just up there just hacking away, which is his game.
And Brantley will take the walk. A 1-out walk by Laffey. That's what got him in trouble in the second. He gave up a walk to Santana, who came around to score. Shelley Duncan was hit by a pitch in the second inning. He was credited with an RBI. And Sebia will go out to the mound and talk things over with Aaron Laffey. Duncan has just returned to the ball club. He was on paternity leave. He and his wife just welcomed in a pair of twin boys over the All-Star break. You can relate to that.
Yeah.
You've got twin boys. And Shelley Duncan, I spoke to him this morning. He was thrilled. He said it worked out perfectly. My family's in Cleveland. We had 4 days off, and the babies arrived just before the All-Star break.
Yeah, he'll always remember that All-Star break. And now he gets to go on the road. He'll get his sleep.
Laffey having trouble finding the strike zone now. Got to get your mindset back to that scoreless game.
Yeah.
It's a nothing game, and you have to make pitches.
I think use your fastball also. Put it in a good spot and make them force their way on.
And let them hit long foul balls.
You know, that's the one thing that we have seen from Laffey since John Farrell has put him into the starting rotation. He's been very aggressive, number one. He has used his fastball a lot, ditched the curveball somewhat, and that changeup. He has really cut the ball better, but he has been very aggressive in attacking these hitters.
Laffey went to spring training last year with the Indians. Then he was moved to Seattle in March and really pitched well. First 27 appearances in Seattle. He had a 1.87 ERA right through the All-Star break. And then the Mariners put him on waivers. John Farrell picked up on that, and he really wanted to add Laffey to his pitching staff last year. The Yankees took him, and he pitched well for the Yankees in a relief role. But when he had an opportunity to sign this offseason, he was weighing his options, and Toronto promised him the ability to start. He competed in spring training for a spot in the rotation. When he didn't make the club, he went down to Las Vegas to start in AAA. And here he is making his 4th big league start.
That was a good pitch right there. He's also, they moved him into the bullpen, and this is his 3rd stint with the Blue Jays this year. First 2 times he was up, he didn't pitch out of the bullpen. So instead of letting him get rusty down there, they'd send him back down to Las Vegas, let him make his starts and keep his pitch count up and keep him stretched out. So if there was a need here, he could fill it, and I think he's done a great job.
Full count. High and deep to left field, and Rajai Davis watches this one settle into the seats. 2-run home run for Shelley Duncan. His 9th of the season. Duncan's got a lot of power, and with the full count pitch, he was just trying to put the ball in play, and he knocked it out of the yard.
Yeah, he threw it in a swing path also. He's got a level swing, does Duncan. And he's a good high ball hitter. Watch where this one is, right in the swing path. And Duncan doesn't miss it. 9th home run of the season. 2 quick runs for the Indians.
Casey Kotzman pops one up behind the mound. Escobar comes in and makes the grab. 2 outs now. The catcher, Lou Marsden, struck out his first time up. There's a fastball strike. If anybody ever tells you they can figure out baseball, introduce me to them. Last night we had a beautiful 1-0 game. Indians had 8 hits. Blue Jays had just 5 hits. And today, a totally different game. 14 runs on 13 hits. That's what's always baffled me about people who think they can bet on baseball. How can you figure it out?
In the pitching matchup this afternoon, Jimenez is coming off a great start against Tampa Bay. His last time out.
Marsden singles up the middle. That'll extend his hit streak to 9 straight. A 2-out single. Bruce Walton has popped out of the Blue Jays dugout, and he's going to make a visit to the mound. You can see he's talking directly to Aaron Laffey. Mixing it up a bit, cut the ball, sink the ball. Yeah, you get away from your strength.
Use your fastball just a little bit more. That looked like an off-speed pitch to Marsden. Use that cutter.
Back to the top of the order. This Indian team has scored an awful lot of runs of late. They've averaged over 6.5 runs a ball game since late in June. Chu doubled his last time up over the outstretched glove of Rajay Davis in left center.
Pitchers, when they get these types of leads, do they start thinking about, okay, now I got to get to 5 innings so I can
get a win,
to get the win. And I think you put the cart before the horse sometimes and start thinking 2 or 3 innings ahead instead of a job at hand right now. And that is just to make quality pitches. Let the manager think 2 or 3 innings ahead.
I tell you what, the manager's not thinking about 5 innings.
Nope.
He's thinking about winning this game. And if you don't show the ability to throw strikes, it's going to make a change. 3-0 count, 2 outs.
We saw that right before the break. Brett Cecil threw 4 1/3 innings. And the Blue Jays at that time had 8 runs on the board. Was up by 5 runs, and at that time they had lost the first 2 games in that series, and John Farrell said, I need to win the ball game.
Yeah, and you can see Bruce Walton's on the horn.
Yeah.
You cannot allow a team to gather momentum in the middle of an inning, middle of a game. They're going to storm back, and the bullpen's going to get to work. Looks like Drew Carpenter has grabbed the baseball. He's going to start loosening up. Jason Frazier picked up the win in that game in Chicago. He came in and did a good job in relief. He picked up his first win of the season. Now, I can tell you one thing. Speaking from a manager's perspective, he doesn't care if the starter gets 5 innings or not. When he's got a 10-4 lead, he's going to win this game.
Yeah, he just wants to see a W on his side of the ledger.
Cabrera pops up on the first pitch. Ball ends up in fair territory, and Encarnacion makes the catch, and that ends the inning. But the Indians peck away 2 more runs. It's a 10-4 Blue Jays lead. enjoying those big, comfy green chairs in the TD Comfort Zone are lucky fans who've received a stadium seat upgrade this afternoon. The TD Comfort Zone, courtesy of TD. Congratulations and enjoy a beautiful afternoon here at Rogers Center. Sitting in the front row.
Be careful. You're close.
Be careful is true. Aaron Laffey got out of the top half of the fourth inning. Got the pop-up. Gave up a 2-run home run to Shelley Duncan. Kelly Johnson's had a good day. He's walked, doubled, and scored, and he's stolen a pair. 2 stolen bases. He has 9 for the season. See the infield defense playing Johnson to pull. Outfield straight away. He hit it hard, but got out in front.
It's a problem when you can't control pitches and you fall behind. Then you feel you got to throw it in there. The big league hitter is going to be ready for it. Lawrence fell behind 2-0. Kelly said, "I'm going to try and hit another home run." Just was out in front a little bit.
Barnes has been a starter throughout his minor league career. He made 77 starts in the minor league, so he should have the ability to give Maniacta some innings here. Johnson gets underneath this one. Kochman, the first baseman, battling the sun in foul ground. Boy, that rattled around in that first baseman's glove, but he made the catch.
Yeah, he's one of the best first basemen in the American League. He's only made 3 errors. That's as many as he's had the last 2 years combined.
Well, you can see the sun that the defenders have to deal with when that ball is popped in the air. Beautiful day, bright sunny day here in Toronto. Rajay Davis has gone 0 for 2. Ball on the strength. This is popped up. Second baseman Jason Kipnis never took his eye off it and gets a couple of pop-ups here in the fourth.
You take your eye off of it, you go look for it again, you might not find it with that high sky.
J.P. Arencibia picked up an RBI here in the third inning. JP now has 42 runs driven in. Another productive season for him.
He is on pace for the same type of season that he produced last year. Low 20s home runs, right around 80 RBIs.
Out in front of that off-speed pitch.
And when batters start putting together comparable seasons back to back, now you've got a history. That's what you're going to get, I think, for Arencibia. 25 home runs, around 80 RBIs, and that's pretty good numbers for a catcher.
That'd be in the top 5 in baseball. That kind of production with home runs and RBIs. Everybody gets wrapped around their batting average and worried about, well, JP's hitting 220. But when you look at where he matches up in production, he's right among the top.
Yep. And I don't think he's going to be a high average hitter in his career. I don't think he's going to be a 290 or 300 hitter. He just doesn't have that type of swing.
Right. Got a power swing. It's a little bit of a long swing, but he'll be right there with A.J. Pierzynski and Jared Saltalamacchia as far as the top producing catchers in the American League.
You have to make a decision if that's the type of production you want out of your catcher. certainly can play on any team when you've got that type of offense. I do think, excuse me, Buck, I do think he's good enough to hit 250 at least. That's one for 4. He has made some strides this year. He has tried to hit the ball at times with 2 strikes the other way and have more productive at bats when he falls behind in the count. 250 isn't out of the question.
Drives this ball to right. This is trouble. Chu's not going to get it. Bounces out of the ballpark for a ground rule double. Aaron Sevia's second double of the afternoon.
Boy, that is a thing of beauty with 2 strikes. Just talking about going the other way and cutting down your swing just a little bit when you get the 2 strikes. And right on cue, Aaron Sevia sends one to right field. Count is 2-2 against Barnes. Instead of trying to open up and pull the ball, stays right with it. Ball is away and up, and he just slices it down the right field line. Looked like he was talking to us. Said, get down. Second double this afternoon.
6 doubles now for the Jays. And we had talked about the fact that they had all season long had more home runs than doubles. Now they're closing the gap. Brett Lawrie had a double, drove in a run his last time up. He was the first batter that Barnes faced when he came into the ballgame. Looped the ball over the first baseman's glove into right. Picked up his 17th double of the season. Six doubles, as we mentioned earlier, ties the season high by the Blue Jays. They hit 6 doubles against Baltimore back in May. Three and 0. Just strike. Six doubles and 2 home runs today. There's another strike. The Blue Jays now have hit 130 doubles and 129 home runs.
So they finally passed. They're the last team in baseball to have more doubles than home runs.
Full count to Brett Lawrie. Off the end of the bat. Long run for Kipton. This ball's got a lot of English on it, and Lawrie is out by half a step. The ball was cued right off the end of the bat. Kipnis made a good play as he unloaded in a hurry in time to get Brett Lawrie. That closes out the 4th. It's all Blue Jays. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn. Ricky Romero last night had a good ball game, his second consecutive good start. Romero went 6 innings, allowed 6 hits, just 1 run, and overall, this is a big step in the right direction.
I thought his fastball command was a lot better. I thought he spun a breaking ball much better. 6 innings, 6 strikeouts in that game against the Indians last night. Another step in the right direction for Romero. I think that's very important for the Blue Jays that he be the leader, the guy out in front. Just made one mistake, that hanging breaking ball to Travis Hafner, that he hit a home run on. There's 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. There's 95 pitches in the 6 innings that he worked. So another step in the right direction, I think, for Romero and the Blue Jays.
Blue Jays are going to need some consistent performances from Ricky Romero in the second half. Number 3 hitter Jason Kipnis with a 1-1 count. Drives this ball over the glove of Kelly Johnson into right. Kipnis' first hit of the afternoon. He's 1 for 3.
He's a good looking hitter. He had 49 RBIs, and Kelly Johnson almost comes up with the circus catch. Just out of his reach.
Jose Lopez 1 for 2 so far this afternoon. Goes after the first pitch and pops it up high down the left field line. Brett Laurie in foul territory. Makes the grab. 1 out. So with Kipnis at first, Carlos Santana, who is the DH here this afternoon. Santana has lost the majority of his work behind the plate to Lou Marson. But they're hopeful that his bat will come around. He's a switch hitter with power.
27 home runs last year for Santana, just 5 so far this year in about 250 at bats.
He hasn't hit a home run since May 15th. That came at Minnesota against Jason Marquis, who has since been released and sent to San Diego. 2 months without a home run.
And you know
that's killing.
Yeah, you know, ball players think about that. Then they try to do something that's not real ordinary. Maybe try lifting the ball to try and get a home run, or you swing just a little bit harder so you can hit the home run. And that's when you get away from your strengths. Just put a good swing on it.
27 home runs a year ago and 79 driven in. Santana's behind 1-2. Kipnis with a short lead at first. And Sebia holds on to it, and Santana strikes out. It's a 4th strikeout for Aaron Laffey.
A little bit of a wild swing with 2 strikes. Watch how he's way out in front. Ends up hitting Aaron Sebia with that long backswing. A little bit off balance. And heads back to the bench.
And that's the way it's been going for Santana lately. Michael Brantley's had no problem since he's seen the Jays again.
Have we got him out yet in this series?
Once. Last night he was 3 for 4. Struck him out. Casey Jansen struck him out last night in his final at bat. Brantley has gotten better and better as the season has gone on. He had 250 in April, 296 in May, 286 in June, and he's off to a great start in July. Coming into this game, 419. What's new? Another base hit for Michael Brantley. Got to go back to the drawing board and come up with a new game plan.
One of the keys in the Blue Jays taking 2 out of 3 in Cleveland. The first series of the season was they kept Brantley off the bases. They really pitched him tough, and he just did not have a good series. Can't say that about him in this one. 2 more hits this afternoon, 3 yesterday, 5 already.
For July, he's now 15 for 33. Just under 500 for the month. Well, Shelley Duncan, he's driven in 3 runs this afternoon. Got hit by a pitch with the bases loaded and hit a 2-run homer. Blue Jays bullpen going to go back to work. Drew Carpenter was up earlier, very briefly. Shelley Duncan's got home run on his mind. Carpenter again loosening up. 5th inning, Blue Jays have a 10-4 lead. Duncan's seeing the ball very well against Laffey. I mentioned this is the first game that he has faced Aaron Laffey. He got hit by an inside pitch and then hit a long 2-run homer. Base hit to left. Here comes the runner around third. Jason Kipnis is going to be out at the plate. Head throw by Rajay Davis. Aaron Sebia held his ground and took the 1-hop throw and tagged Kipnis out. That's the 4th assist for Rajay Davis. He throws a strike to the catcher who puts the tag on Kipnis. We'll take a look at AAA Las Vegas. Over the last 10 games, Travis Snyder has hit just .219, a couple of doubles. He's had 11 walks and an OPS of .794. The hot hand from the left side is Eric Thames. A .429 average, 2 triples, 3 doubles. He's driven in 8 and an OPS of 1.189. And we mentioned these two because John Farrell's been talking about needing some left-handed help in the production department offensively, and these obviously are 2 of the candidates.
Yeah, who's the hot guy? And right now, Snyder with that wrist injury, coming out of the box after coming off the DL just a little bit slower than Eric Thames right now. Thames homered in last night's game. Jeremy Accardo will be the 3rd pitcher of the afternoon already for the Indians. There are his numbers in 18 games for the Indians.
Jeremy Accardo signed as a free agent in January. And Aaron Laffey gets the handshake. 5 innings, and he's in line for the win. Ricardo came to the Blue Jays in 2006. Acquired by the Blue Jays in exchange for Shea Hillenbrand and Vinny Chalk. July 22nd, just about this time of the year in 2006.
And then the next year, he had a big year for the Blue Jays.
30 saves. As he had a very good year, 214 earned run average and 30 saves. The league hit just 206 against Ricardo that season. And then he had forearm soreness in 2008. Missed the most of that season, and Asdrubal Cabrera takes one away from Colby Erasmus.
Ricardo will come right after you. Fastball, he's got a splitter that he'll use for the strikeout pitch. Split figure fastball. He'll spin a breaking ball also. Fell behind here and left one out over the plate. And Erasmus hits it hard but doesn't have anything to show for that one.
Jose Bautista. Bautista has walked, doubled, and walked. He scored 3 runs. Bautista, as we speak, has tied Curtis Granderson with 62 runs scored. They're both tied for 3rd in the American League. Ian Kinsler and David Ortiz have scored 63 runs.
You know, that's 37 times now this year that Bautista's had at least 1 walk in a game. Pitchers will still pitch around him, but they have to be a little bit more careful, I think, with the season that Encarnacion is having behind him.
Popped into shallow right field. Chu with a long run. Gets there and makes the catch. New left-hander down in the Blue Jays pen is Aaron Loup. He was just added to the roster at the All-Star break. Comes up from Double-A New Hampshire. And you can see he's got a little bit of a high 3/4 delivery. And he's going to make his major league debut here this afternoon. Encarnacion jumps on the first pitch and pulls it foul. Edwin, 2-run home run in the 3rd inning, his 24th of the season. He now has driven in 60 for the season. And because of that, he was rewarded with that handsome contract on Thursday. And it just went high and deep. And he's done it again. Edwin Encarnacion. Oh, my.
I wonder if they thought they were going to get a baseball when they got their seats this afternoon. Look at where that ball landed off the bat of Edwin Encarnacion. Got himself into a good hitter's count.
He hit that one into Sightlines Restaurant, and that is a monster shot. And yes, you are on TV. What a home run, and what a day for Edwin Encarnacion.
Center cut on that off-speed pitch, and Encarnacion knows with that tremendous power. He got plenty of that one. Right over that sign in left center field and up into the restaurant.
Wow. His career high in home runs is 26. He just won off of that. And that is me on TV.
Yeah.
That's me on TV.
That is a long way. I don't know if I could stand at second base with a fungo and hit it up that far.
Well, you remember in the '91 All-Star game, Kirby Puckett hit one up into that section in center field. Adam Lind high and deep to right and just foul. Sounded like he hit it down toward the end of the bat. But when Puckett hit that home run during the home run derby in the '91 All-Star game, all the players on the field hollered in unison, "He hit it in the soup."
Edwin might have got some soup right there.
How about Adam Lind? Have a day, Adam. A 4-hit day for Adam Lind. Boy, he looks good.
His first 4-hit game of the season. Last time he had a 3-hit game was back on the 17th of April versus Tampa. They're just flipping the ball all over the place.
Well, it's got to be satisfying for Lind, who went down to the minor leagues for over a month and worked hard to get his stroke back.
You know, and there was no doubt from both John Farrell and Dwayne Murphy that they were going to be back here. He was going to be back and he was going to be productive.
And you know how challenging that is for a big league player to go back to the minor leagues and accept the fact that you're in the minor leagues, you were on waivers, nobody claimed you. It happened to both Encarnacion and Adam Lind. And to their credit, they didn't get down. They didn't slack off in their work. And they worked their way back to the big leagues.
That is a wake-up call for a guy who has been in the big leagues 3-4 years to get optioned back down to the minor leagues. You forget at times how rough it is down there. The travel and the amenities.
Ricardo knocks it down, takes his time, and throws to first. That ends the inning. But how about the afternoon for Edwin Encarnacion? A 2-homer day, number 24 and 25, and this one is a no-doubter into the restaurant sightlines in deep center. That'll make you scratch your head. Brought to you by the Aspire Travel World MasterCard from Capital One. Take a look at the whip by rotation around the big leagues. The White Sox lead the pack. They are ahead of the Angels and the Mariners, and they've all got very good whip by rotation. And then you look at the Blue Jays, 137. They are 9th in the American League, and the Indians have had a lot of trouble. 143 for their starters.
I think that's a direct reflection on commanding fastball. The teams at the top, the White Sox, Angels, and Mariners, they don't walk anybody. Pitchers are going to give up hits, but you compound the problem by walking people.
Aaron Loup makes a first pitch strike in his first big league appearance. These are his numbers from New Hampshire, and Loup has just been added to the 40-man roster. He's 24 years old. And Casey Kochman's going to ground out to first.
You know, the one thing that a manager can do when he's got a young player just coming into the big leagues for his first shot, put him in a position to succeed. And John Farrell sees that Kochman is a left-hander. You got 8-9-1. Two of those hitters are left-handed batters. So Loup has a chance here in his first big league inning to have success.
Loup was not with the Blue Jays in spring training, so John Farrell hasn't had a chance to see him. It also gives him the luxury of taking a look at his newest pitcher. Lou Morrison, the catcher. I know one thing: if he keeps throwing strikes, John Farrell's going to fall in love with him.
Throw quality strikes, work quickly. Throws from a 3/4 angle, sinker, slider, a little bit of a changeup. His numbers that we flashed up there from from New Hampshire in Double-A, outstanding.
You can see John Farrell is looking intently to the mound, trying to just get a read on what he's got in Loup.
43 innings pitched in Double-A, 43 strikeouts. That's good. I think that's a good measurement for young pitchers in the minor leagues, a strikeout an inning. Just 14 base on balls.
Loup is the 26th pitcher the Blue Jays have used this season. Evens the count at 2-2. Aaron was a 9th-round pick out of Tulane University in New Orleans, and he has pitched as a starter, pitched as a reliever, and now appears to be pigeonholed in this relief role for the time being. Breaking ball, weak swing by Marsden. 2 outs.
Save during the plumbing, cooling, and electrical sale. Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners.
A gorgeous afternoon on the lake and a very upbeat afternoon inside the ballpark. Blue Jays lead 11-4. They've hit 3 home runs this afternoon. A pair by Edwin Encarnacion.
This second one, we might have to count that as 2. He hit it so far.
Alex Dropless, the GM, talking about Edwin, praised him for having a lot of power, but also the fact that he doesn't swing and miss very often, especially this year. He's cut down on his wild swings. He has had a much better approach at the plate, and for that you can credit Dwayne Murphy, the hitting coach. Murph gave Edwin a plan and said, listen, stick to your strengths. Don't worry about hitting the ball to right field. Go up there and think about doing some damage. And boy, has that advice worked. Chew. Bouncing ball to second. Aaron Loup's a big leaguer. He's got an inning under his belt. 3 ground ball outs. He made it look easy. game live or on demand on your favorite device. MLB.TV Premium now also includes a free subscription to At Bat 12. Enjoy the rest of the baseball season for $79.99. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. And it bodes to be a very interesting second half to the season. Blue Jays' schedule is very challenging as they play an awful lot of good ball clubs in the second half, including the Yankees and the Red Sox in the upcoming road trip. That'll start Monday. Blue Jays will play Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday afternoon in New York, and then start a 3-game series Friday night in Boston against the Red Sox.
That Boston team is getting healthy. That's a team that I think you have to watch out for in the second half.
Clay Buchholz is starting for the Red Sox tonight down in Tampa Bay. His return off the disabled list. He was forced on the DL with an intestinal problem. They got Ellsbury back last night. They think they're going to get Crawford back early this next week, and Pedroia probably by the Blue Jays series next weekend. Pedroia is back on the DL with that thumb injury.
They've had a half a season. Bobby Valentine taking a look at his team. You know what? Say what you will about Bobby Valentine. I think he's a very good talent evaluator, and he puts guys in position. If he doesn't think you can play, he'll move you out and bring somebody else in.
2-2. Kelly Johnson hits it right to the second baseman.
So he's had a half a season of watching his club and knows he's getting some of those guys back off the injury list. I think they're going to be a very good team in the second half.
Well, they certainly have the pedigree. And you know what? Maybe with a season or half a season under their belt, they will forget about Bobby Valentine. They'll concentrate on the opponents and put together a good second half. Rajai Davis has gone 0 for 3. Bouncing ball to short as Grubel Cabrera. The Kochman 2 down. So J.P. Arencibia will step into the box. He has a couple of doubles today. He now has 13 for the season. That matches his home run total. We talked about home run production, RBIs by a catcher. Arencibia is right there near the top. You look around baseball, A.J. Pierzynski and Jared Saltalamacchia have each hit 16 home runs as a catcher. Willen Rosario, rookie with the Rockies, has 14, and then Arencibia, Brian McCann, and Yadier Molina are all tied at 13. Off the end of the bat. Shelley Duncan in. The inning is over. A 1-2-3, bottom of the 6th for the Indians. They'll go to the top of the 7th. They trail by 7. Aaron Loup has made his major league debut here this afternoon, and he had a good inning. Brought to you by Spitz Seeds. Give it a crack. Spitz are the official sunflower seeds of the Toronto Blue Jays. Lots of cracks of the bat in that inning. In the third inning, 8 hits, 4 doubles, 2 home runs, 2 singles, and the Blue Jays had a season-high 8 runs scored in that third inning, and they blew it wide open.
Boy, Escobar looked good in that inning. Fastball in the middle of the plate. Encarnacion with a home run in that inning. Would add one later. 10th time this year that the Blue Jays have had a player with multiple home run games.
Asdrubal Cabrera goes after the first pitch and pops out to right. Aaron Luke has retired all 4 batters he's faced.
Looks very comfortable here at the big leagues.
Well, I'm sure it helps he's got a 7-run cushion, but at the same time, you've got to believe he's got some butterflies working. It's a great opportunity for him with so many left-handed bats in the Indians lineup. Get his feet on the ground, get a game under his belt.
They've had a couple of kids come up from Double-A this year. This is one of them that's on the staff down in that bullpen. Sammy Dyson's the other one. I'd like to see him possibly get some work this afternoon. We have just seen Dyson one time.
As Dyson, he is not getting loose as we speak. Blue Jays have Jesse Chavez starting to loosen up down in their bullpen. Ground ball. Escobar behind second. Throws out Kipnis. 5 straight retired by Luke. 4 on ground balls. Jesse Chavez appears to be ready, standing by. Pete Walker, the bullpen coach, behind him.
Pitchers like to start clean innings, don't they? I mean, if at all possible, finish this one off here and let Jesse Chavez pitch a full inning when he trots out of that bullpen to start the inning.
Especially in a game like this, you certainly want to come in and have an opportunity to have a good inning.
Yeah, I don't think you want to come in and be in the stretch right away. I think you want to be in that wind-up position where you start that inning cleanly.
2-0. Seventh inning, Blue Jays scored 2 in the first. And Adam Lynn hit one on the top of the fence in right field and drove in 2 runs with a double. Breaking ball is in there. That evens the count at 2-2. Indians tied it up in their half of the second. And then the bottom of the third, it was all Blue Jays. 8 runs, bottom of the third inning. And they haven't looked back. Another weak ground ball. Kelly Johnson at second. What a debut for Aaron Luke. 6 up, 6 down. He made it look easy. He got 5 ground ball outs. Middle of the 7th. Blue Jays with a comfortable lead.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Well, if you can't be out on the lake in a canoe, you should be here at Rogers Center because the Blue Jays have put on a show offensively. 11 runs on 12 hits. They pounded out 3 more home runs, and they're going to face a new pitcher. It's Esmil Rogers, the right-hander, coming out of the bullpen for the 12th time this year.
Got a big arm. They got him from the Colorado Rockies, and he just has to learn to trust his stuff. He's not walking people like he did before. The Indians have done a little bit in terms of working with his mechanics to keep him from walking people, but he's got a good arm.
Brett Lowry has another base hit. His second hit of the afternoon.
Save during the plumbing, cooling, and electrical sale. Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Lowry a 2-hit day. He's 2 for 4 so far. His average back up to 290. Colby Erasmus has been shut out so far. He walked and scored in the first and then struck out twice and lined out to the shortstop. Esmil Rogers came up to Colorado, made a start in 2009, and then he was back and forth, big leagues and minors, until coming over here with the Indians. As Pat mentioned, came from Colorado in a trade for cash considerations back in June.
And all he has done since that date, June the 12th, he has pitched 11 times and has an ERA of 2.03. He's only walked 1 batter and has had 18 strikeouts. So they love his arm. Just have to figure out a way to fit him into the rotation. Right now they've got 3 guys they can really count on at the back end of that bullpen. And Smith, Pastano, and Perez. Rafael Perez, another one of their left-handers, is making a rehab appearance, trying to get back.
Colby Erasmus hits it hard, but Brantley got a good jump and tracks it down. Erasmus has hit it hard the last 2 times. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Ryan Dempster, 6 innings of 4-hit ball. Jamie mentioned he didn't allow a run, walked 3 and struck out 5. His ERA is 1.86. And he has certainly been scouted by a lot of teams, and you got to believe that he and Garza more than likely probably both get moved off the Cubs team before the trade deadline.
You know, and it's going to cost a lot. You're going to have to give up a lot of good prospects if you want to get those type of arms for the stretch drive.
Well, I tell you what, there are going to be a lot of bidders, and that's going to run the price up. When you look around baseball, an awful lot of teams could use a veteran starter like Dempster or Garza. Bautista has the count in his favor, 2-1.
Having that extra wild card is going to make more teams available for the for the postseason. So more teams, supply and demand, that just pushes the price up for those type of pitchers.
Well, it's only 2 spots in the postseason, but going into September, nobody knows how many teams are still going to be in contention. Jose pops it up over near the Indians' dugout. Casey Kochman on the warning track.
And you can see, as good a fielder as Kochman is, on a day like today, he's having trouble with those pop-ups.
Yeah, struggling. He's got the sunglasses down. He uses his glove as a shield to keep the sun away from him. But still, it's tough.
How about the afternoon Edwin Encarnacion has put together?
That one was a pretty swing right there. 3-1 fastball. He launches it into the seats. And then this one, he does it one better. Into the third deck in left center.
He's thinking about number 3 with that swing.
Remember the first inning, he sent Chu to the warning track in right field on a long fly ball.
Edwin Encarnacion signed a nice contract extension on Thursday afternoon, final day of the All-Star break. 3 years, $27 million plus an option. And you don't think he's appreciative? Since he signed that contract, his OPS is 3.417.
3? I've never heard of that.
3.417. And this time he strikes out. But boy, what a day he's had. He has led the charge. Blue Jays lead it 11-4. We'll go to the 8th. Great times are waiting. Please enjoy responsibly.
Edwin Encarnacion all season long has shown the ability to get himself into good hitters' counts. This is his at-bat against Jimenez in the third inning. 2-0 right there. He gets a little greedy here and gets a check swing for a strike and then lays off a very borderline pitch. Now he's in a good position. 3-1. He can look for one pitch in one spot. He gets that fastball over the middle of the plate and he absolutely hits a bullet to left field for the home run. That's a smart hitter, and that's our smart play of the afternoon.
He's been a smart hitter all season long. What a year he's put together. He's just one off his career high in home runs with 25. New pitcher for the Blue Jays will be the right-hander Jesse Chavez. Aaron Loup had a perfect start to his big league career. 2 innings, 6 up, 6 down.
Yeah, all zeros for the young left-hander. Now Jesse Chavez gets a chance in 7 games this year, 0-1. Some of those were starts, and they were not very good. But coming out of the bullpen, one thing I like about Chavez is he's aggressive. He uses his fastball just a little bit more. He knows he only has a couple of innings to work. Use the fastball, throw strikes.
Carlos Santana walked and scored in the second. There's a strike from Chavez. Jesse Chavez, for his career prior to this season, had worked exclusively in the big leagues as a reliever. And you can see he got a little extra velocity, knowing, as Pat mentioned, that his outings were going to be much shorter. And he can focus on airing it out, making good quality pitches with that fastball.
He had a career high 5 innings pitched back in May when he came out of the bullpen. And threw those 5 innings down in Texas. Worked very quickly. Made a couple of starts and got through a couple of innings and then hit a wall. Milwaukee comes to mind where he just couldn't find the plate. Had a lot of walks in that one inning, 3, I believe. But out of the pen, he comes right after you. Fastball, curveball, he cuts it a little bit.
Full count. Santana will walk for a second time. Leadoff walk here in the 8th. You've got to believe that the Blue Jays are going to pare down their bullpen numbers. They've got 8 relievers now. And you just have to believe that John Farrell, heading into the Yankees and Boston series, wants to have an extra position play. He's kind of hamstrung by having just 3 extra men. And I think he would just like to be able to pare down to 7 relievers.
Yeah, even if it's a guy who can pinch run, or if it's a guy who could be a third catcher like a Yang Gong, somebody like that, maybe an extra bat off the bench for those late games, just a little bit more of a matchup. And with the All-Star break, the 4 games that the Blue Jays had in the All-Star break, they're well rested.
Michael Brantley has had some series. He's not going to want to leave Toronto. A 2-run home run for Brantley. His 3rd hit this afternoon. He's had 6 hits in the series. And that's his 4th home run of the season. He absolutely owns the Blue Jays.
Yeah, 340 career average against the Blue Jays coming into this game. That will go up with his 3-for-3 afternoon. And it was effortless watching him swing the bat this afternoon. Effortless that he doesn't have to take a wild swing. Watch how nice and easy he gets that bat head through the zone. And he knows he got all of it.
It's 11-6 Blue Jays. Shelley Duncan. He's going to get a base hit to right field. Duncan's had a 3-hit day. He's been on base 4 times. And Bruce Walton reluctantly calls down to the bullpen again. Drew Carpenter up for a 3rd time this afternoon. Casey Kochman, the first baseman. Kochman has been shut out. He's 0 for 3. Out in front of the off-speed pitch. Two balls and a strike. Pulled foul on the inside pitch. Indians have a walk, home run, and a single in this inning against Jesse Chavez, who came on to start the 8th.
Needs to get the ball down. The ball's just up in the air. 14 pitches already. Stay down in the strike zone and you got yourself a chance to get an out. There's a good pitch.
Well, Michael Brantley hasn't helped any of the Blue Jays pitchers. He's gone to the plate 8 times in this series and reached 7.
He's got to be up over 300 now, the way he has been swinging the bat.
Right on the money at 300.
Is that right? I know he was at 294 at one point this afternoon.
Casey Kochman high and deep to right, and this one's going to leave the yard.
Hold on.
Number 8, number 9 for Kochman. And we're talking about a 3-run game.
And what's disappointing about this is from the middle of the lineup down, the lower part of the lineup doing the damage. 4 runs here in the 8th inning. And John Farrell is heading out to the mound. Kochman got a breaking ball. That's right down Broadway in the middle. And the good hitters don't miss that.
Now Jesse Chavez will hand the baseball over. He didn't get anybody out. Walk, home run, single, home run. Disappointing outing for Jesse Chavez. Blue Jays will go to the pen. Drew Carpenter will come out of the bullpen. All of a sudden, it's a ball game. Here in the 8th inning, there's still no outs. Jesse Chavez came into the game, didn't retire a batter. Got off to a bad start when he walked Carlos Santana. And a couple of 2-run home runs, and now Drew Carpenter will make his 2nd appearance for the Blue Jays since coming up from AAA.
Came up from AAA and made his Blue Jays debut back on July the 5th against Kansas City. Threw an inning and a third and was charged with 3 hits and a run. He also had a strikeout. Big guy, throws a slider, sinker slider type of pitcher.
Lou Marson, the catcher, takes one inside. Carpenter came into that ball game against Kansas City and got the final out of the 8th inning. Got Billy Butler to line out to right. Yuniesky Betancourt then led off the 9th with a home run. He gave up 2 more hits in the inning, but that was it. Aaron Laffey started. He's still in line for the win. Rookie Aaron Luke made his major league debut and looked very good.
Yeah.
He was sharp in 2 innings of work.
6 up, 6 down to shut him right down, and now trying to get it now to the 9th inning. It's been a problem. 4 runs on 3 hits and now a 3-0 count to the number 9 hitter.
There's a strike. You can see John Farrell had that lineup card in his hand, and you just look at that lineup and say, you know what? We're going to the top of the order here after this batter. And the Indians, you got to give them a lot of credit. And they have hung in there. They scored 2 in the 4th, and now 4 here in the 8th. Michael Brantley has been the big offensive contributor here again today. Casey Kochman with a 2-run home run. Shelley Duncan's had a big day. He's driven in 3. From the bottom of the order has done a nice job.
Yeah, and for a team that hasn't hit a lot of home runs this season, they're flexing their muscles this afternoon. They've hit 3.
Bouncing ball. Big hop for the shortstop Escobar. That's the first out of the inning. Well, you called it early this morning when you were standing near the batting cage. You said, boy, the ball's flying around here today.
Boy, as soon as they opened up the roof right before batting practice, it was almost like they let the air out of this building and the ball started jumping. Escobar with a home run, Encarnacion with a couple. Adam Lind almost had one off the top of the wall, and 3 by the Indians.
Top of the order. Sin Shu Chu takes his strike. Baldo Jimenez, the starter, back on the bench to pull for his teammates. That's a good sign. Always like that.
Yeah.
A lot of times starters will go inside and shower and put their street clothes on, but here's Jimenez back on the bench, still in uni.
I'll tell you what, the everyday players certainly appreciate it. You know, he didn't have the best game of the season, but he's going to stick around and show a little moral support for his teammates.
Yeah, that's a good move. It's in the dirt. It's 2-2 to Chu. Sin-Shu Chu has a double this afternoon. He's also walked. He's 1 for 3 overall. He's got some pop. He has 10 home runs. The one thing John Farrell would like to do is avoid using Oliver, Fraser, or Jansen in this game.
When they were ahead 9-4, or excuse me, 11-4. Sure, the furthest thing was his mind was getting Jansen into this ball game, but he might have to use him in a save situation now in the 9th inning. Yeah, anytime you can get your closer a day off where you don't need him and still win the ball game.
Well, and fans might ask, well, what's the big deal? They just had 4 days off, but at the same time, you don't know what's coming around the corner.
Right.
You could have 5 save situations in a row. When you have a game well in hand, you just as soon not pitch the back end of your pen. Good change up there from Carpenter. He strikes out Chu.
Good pitch to get a tough hitter. Watch how this ball just drops straight down, and Chu swings right over the top of it.
Casey Jansen can read the scoreboard, so he's starting to move around, getting the blood flowing a little bit. It's a 3-run game. Asdrubal Cabrera has got 0 for 8 in the series so far. Two and 0.
It's a nice looking sinker right there from Carpenter. If he can just get it up just a little. He got a lot of ground ball outs.
That's the one thing you want to see from your pitcher. Throw a pitch, make an adjustment, change your sights. If you're low and you're aiming at the glove, aim at the chest protector, aim at the mask, raise your sights a bit, make an adjustment.
You know, with that sinker that we have seen in this inning, you don't have to be perfect. Get it over where that batter offers at it. You don't have to throw a perfect pitch with a sinker to get an out.
Here's the 3-1. Popped back out of play. Well, you're right. You know, oftentimes sinker ball pitchers try to make the perfect pitch and hit the corner. No, the movement is what is your strength. Throw it down the middle. Let it work its way to the corner.
Yeah, the worst thing you can do as a sinker ball pitcher is aim for the corner. It's not going to go there.
Drew Carpenter making his second appearance for the Blue Jays. Pat mentioned he came into a game on the 5th of July against Kansas City. All the way back to the screen, and Cabrera will take first base with the walk. Again, the manager looking at that lineup card, seeing where they are, seeing what's coming up next. Hashing things over with pitching coach and the bench coach. You do that a lot as a manager, just to make sure you're thinking correctly and clearly, saying, okay, we got this guy coming up, we got that left-hander ready. I'd like not to use Frazier or Oliver, but you can see this Walton's on the phone again.
Yeah. Who is it going to be? Well, one thing you know, after that walk right there to Cabrera, Michael Brantley is going to be guaranteed to hit in the 9th inning.
Looks like Casey Janssen is moving around, and he's going to start to throw. Casey Janssen had a 5-out save to end the first half of the season. That came in Chicago. But they're not going to take any chances.
Well, he told us that when the game started around batting practice. He said, I need a win. I need a win this afternoon, the way this team has been.
Blue Jays are a game under. .43-44 for the season. That's 3 balls and a strike now with 2 outs.
You know what he's thinking? The tying run, if he gets on base, comes to the plate in Lopez.
And they've got Travis Hafner on the bench. Hafner homered in the game last night.
Yeah, 3 lefties. Hafner, Hanahan, and Johnny Damon.
And Bruce Walton is going to go to the mound after Aaron Seavey went there. And this is all about giving Casey Janssen a few more pitches. Get Janssen ready for the next situation, no matter what it is.
You know, if they had that one extra left-hander, they could have it warming up right here and put the pressure on Manny Acta. If he ends up walking him, make him decide. He'll make the change and bring in the left-handed hitter, and then you'd have that left-hander in the bullpen.
Now, obviously, they still have Aaron Oliver,
yeah,
but he's 41 years old, and you're looking ahead to. There's Hafner. He's been downstairs, and you bet he's been swinging the bat. But you've got the Yankees in Boston coming up.
You want to, if possible, save him. And he just pitched in yesterday's game.
3-1 pitch, 2 outs. Cabrera with a 2-out walk. The Indians have scored 4 here in the top of the 8th. That will bring the tying run to the plate. Jose Lopez has made his way to home plate. John Farrell just talked to Pete Walker about Casey Janssen and the status. Are you surprised no Travis Hafner?
Yes.
Boy, I am.
I thought they would have that left-hander ready. There's Hafner hanging around the cage.
Well, John Farrell's not going to take any chances. He's going right to Casey Janssen. Tying runs at the plate. 2 outs here in the 8th. And John Farrell had a big comfortable lead. Now he's going to go to the closer to try to wrap it up. Casey Janssen out of the bullpen. was, if he's going to pinch hit, you don't care. I'd rather have him pinch hitting against the first guy.
Yeah.
Than Casey Janssen. But it's all academic, as now it will be Casey Janssen into the ball game looking for his 13th save.
Third pitcher of the inning for the Blue Jays. Janssen now, again, if he's going to get that 13th consecutive save, he's got to get 4 outs. Tying run comes to the plate in Hafner. The shift is on for the Blue Jays. The runners on base don't mean anything right now. It's this guy at the plate.
So you can see they're going to concede the stolen base, and Janssen watched as Cabrera stole third, and I'm surprised he didn't step off the rubber. But he kept his focus, gave up the stolen base, and still threw a strike. I mean, that had to be unsettling to watch a runner steal as you're looking right at him.
Well, he's aware. Casey Janssen is aware of what's going on around him. And he knows the guy they got to get is standing at the plate.
Kipnis at first, Cabrera at third. Travis Hafner on as the pinch hitter. Shatters his bat, and that trickles into foul ground. Casey Janssen has done that all year long. He's gotten into kitchen and left-handed batters consistently. When you look at Janssen's numbers, lefties have hit 188 against him this season.
And it has been his ability to use that cut fastball in on their hands, and he's backdoored it a lot.
He's ahead 0-2.
He was telling me in Boston that he felt like left-handers were cheating on him, so he said, I got to develop another pitch where those left-handers can't look for that ball on the inside part of the plate, so he started cutting it on the outside, and he's got great command with it.
Here's the 0-2. Popped back out of play. 91 miles an hour with the fastball upstairs. This is just the second pinch hit at bat for Travis Hafner of the season. Normally he's the DH. Jose Lopez played third, and Santana was the DH at the start of this game. Casey Janssen stepped off the rubber as Santana broke way down the line from third.
Yeah, Cabrera is way off. And he was almost thinking like he was going to steal home. And Janssen, again, aware of the situation, steps off and stops him.
Another good fastball.
And why not? Why not come way down that third base line?
Well, a pitcher with less experience might panic in that situation and balk. But not Janssen. He stepped off and chased Cabrera back to third.
I know he got me. If I was on the mound, I would have balked. Seeing a guy that far off and then fake breaking.
Off the plate inside. Whoever thought we'd get to this position in a ball game after the Blue Jays took a 10-2 lead in the third. But Cleveland never gave up. Hafner represents the tying run.
Curveball in the dirt. Good job by Eric Sebia to get in front of that. Keep that ball in front of him. With that wide lead at third base, anything off the dirt, and I think Cabrera could score.
2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Janssen used that abbreviated delivery and beat Hafner with another good fastball. Short leg kick, and he unloaded in a hurry, just trying to disrupt the timing of the hitter.
Maybe catch him by surprise. Maybe he takes that pitch.
Hafner is the 9th man to bat for Cleveland this inning. Base hit to left field. Cabrera comes in to score. It's a 2-run game.
beats the shift by going the other way. We've seen him do that before in the past. Did that this year in Cleveland. Just shoots the ball the other way with 2 strikes. Pinch hit single. His first hit against Jansen in his career, and he will give way to the pinch runner.
Jack Hanahan's going to have to play third base as Hafner pinch hit for the third baseman Jose Lopez, so Hanahan comes in to run. Hafner delivers. Pitch hit single. 11-2 Blue Jays. Kipnis at second. Hanahan. We said 11-2 is 11-9. Obviously a 2-run game. Carlos Santana got it all started with a leadoff walk against Jesse Chavez. There's a fly ball into right. Bautista broke back and recovers in time to make the play. The Indians have a 5-run 8th inning. Casey Jansen closes out the top half of the 8th. Bautista flashing the leather ends the inning. 11-9 Jays. They will bat bottom of the 8th. With a 2-out, 2-run double in the first, and it only got better from there.
Well, he's hitting the ball all over the ballpark. That's a breaking ball from Jimenez. He gets it off the wall in right field. Then he goes up the middle and gets an infield hit. How about this one? A nice approach with 2 strikes, a 2 RBI single, and then down the left field line. Lynn has 4 hits, and he has had a 5-hit game in his career.
June 4th, 2009, right here at Rogers Center against the Angels. This is his 5th 4-hit day of his career.
And any kind of hit from Lynn will make things a little bit easier. How about a nice little add-on run right here? Counteract that 5 spot that the Indians put up in the top of the inning.
And certainly would allow John Farrell to breathe a little bit easier. Tell you what, you think managing easy?
No.
There are never any off days for managers. You sit in the dugout thinking, oh, it's 10-2. We can take the rest of the day off.
Yep.
Here you are in the bottom of the 8th. 11-9.
What are you thinking about in like the 4th inning? Hey, maybe I can get Bautista off his feet for an inning or 2, or give Brett Laurie, who's had the back problem, a little bit of time off.
Yeah, and then boom, you're right back in a ball game.
Yeah, you're like
thinking about matchups, and you go to Casey Jansen in the 8th. Good cut by Lynn.
And you say, thank goodness I didn't take those guys out too early.
The one thing about this time of the year, you just come off the All-Star break and everybody is refreshed. Everybody's got a little bit of a break physically. 2-2. Bounces over to Kotzman. He's going to flip it to first, and Lind is out. Oh, my. Rogers did a good job of getting to the bag, and how about Casey Kotzman in foul territory, flips the ball with his glove, and Rogers is able to make the play.
What a creative play by Kotzman, the first baseman. On the same wavelength with his pitcher. This one right off of his leg and into foul ground, and watch of them both on the same page. I don't believe that Adam Lind got to the bag. He might have been knocked off. Yeah, he never touched the bag. What
never touched the bag. Rogers fielding the ball. Oh, what a play by Kotzman, just to have the presence to swipe at it and slap it back toward first. Adam Lind deserved a better fate on that ball. If it doesn't hit the pitcher, it's going into center field for his 5th hit. Guillermo Escobar has hit a 2-run home run this afternoon. His 6th home run of the season, but more significantly, his 50th career home run.
Starting to pile up his numbers over the last 2 weeks or so. Had a good series in Chicago right before the All-Star break. And he continued that here this afternoon. This was off of Jimenez, high fastball, and he hit it in the second deck. I'll tell you the one thing about the Blue Jay home runs this afternoon, they put some mileage on them.
No paint scrapers, that's for sure. Edwin Encarnacion hit one into the Sightlines restaurant 9 miles away. It's a monumental day anytime you see anybody hit the Windows restaurant, but Encarnacion hit one above that. The ball is popped into center field. Brantley over in the gap makes the catch. Kelly Johnson has a double this afternoon. He scored a run, picked up a couple of steals. Esmil Rogers has given up 1 hit since he's entered the game. That was to the first batter he faced, Brett Lordy.
You can see why the Indians like him. He's got a good arm.
Flying drive down the right side and into foul ground. .96, but up and in.
A little bit of a cutting action on it. He's now thrown 15 innings for the Indians since they picked him up from the Rockies, and now has 19 strikeouts and only 1 base on ball.
Drops the breaking ball in there for a strike. I think that's the one thing the Blue Jays are really missing in their bullpen. Power. They don't have 96 out of their bullpen. Don't have 97. It seems like every team we face has at least 1 or 2 guys that rush it up there. 96, 97.
Or if you're the White Sox, we saw all of them.
Kansas City.
Kansas City. We just saw them. They had like 4 or 5 guys out there.
Kelvin Herrera, 5'9", throwing 101. Off the outside corner.
Yeah, Holland and Broxton and Seattle with a lot of guys who can throw hard.
Well, you get a guy late into the game when hitters are a little bit tired, a little bit worn down. When you throw in the upper 90s, you're going to get a lot of outs. I think that's the one biggest change I've seen over the years is the number of guys that throw 95 and higher. They're all over the place. When you and I were playing, you'd never seen it. Nolan Ryan was the only guy that would hit triple digits.
Well, they didn't have the specialization like they do now. You didn't have a guy for the 6th inning who threw that hard, a 7th and an 8th and a 9th inning guy. Starter would take you deep into the game.
Kelly Johnson pops this one up. Jack Hanahan just into the ball game in foul ground. The inning is over. Rogers has done a good job. He has a 1-2-3 bottom of the 8th. We'll go to the 9th. Casey Jansen looking for a 4-out save. And Tabby will make the edge walk on CN Tower. Just 11 days to go. And you're right. You're going to be able to see Buck and Tabby up there walking on the edge of the CN Tower. And we're doing it all for a great cause, the Jays Care Foundation. For more information, log on to bluejays.com/edgewalk. Make a contribution, and you could join us right up there on top of the CN Tower. Casey Jansen came into pitched the 8th inning with 2 outs, gave up an RBI single to the pinch hitter Travis Hafner, and then got Santana to fly out. He gets jammed there as Brantley is finally retired. Brantley, for the first time this afternoon, makes an out.
Yeah, we talked about the first time the Blue Jays played the Indians in the first series. They really kept Brantley off the bases. He was just 1 for 13 in that 3-game series. Can't say that in this one so far. That is a big out to start the 9th.
Shelley Duncan started in left field. He's had a good day. 3 for 3, 2-run homer. A couple of singles, hit by a pitch, and has driven in 3. Look out. Ball got away from him. That was awfully close to his head.
Yeah, he wanted to go inside and just move him off the plate, and that one just got away from him. He's got very good command. I mean, anytime you see something like that from Jansen, it's a mistake.
Ball and a strike. Good cut from Duncan. Shelley Duncan came to the big leagues with the New York Yankees in 2007. He made a splash as he had 7 home runs in just 34 games. Got a chance to play in the postseason. Had 4 at-bats in 3 games in the division series in 2007.
Shane Spencer. Remember Shane Spencer did that with the Yankees? when he first came up.
Same type of impact. Came up late in the season and ran into some balls, hit some home runs, and he became a cult hero in New York. Took Duncan a long time to get to the big leagues. Spent 6 years in the minors with the Yankees before he got his first taste of the big leagues. 2-2. Out in front, lifts it high and deep to left. Rajai Davis at the track. Makes the catch right in front of the 328 sign. Duncan might have hit it off the end of the bat and it stayed in the ballpark.
Shows you how strong he is. One-handed down the line. Rajai Davis did a good thing. They're playing deep. No doubles. Curveball from Jansen. He's got him out in front. It's one-handed down the left field line, but Davis gets over, tries to find the wall, and makes the catch.
Did a good job of getting to the wall and then running parallel as that ball just kind of died down in the left field corner. Casey Kochman gets the ball to third. This should do it. Brett Flory. Ball game. Casey Jansen, his 13th straight save. It's a 4-out save as the Blue Jays hang on. The Indians with 5 in the 8th made it interesting.
Yeah, the offense breaks it open. Encarnacion has a big day, and then the bullpen holds on for a big win, a win the Blue Jays really needed.
Well, the two teams have split the first 2 games and play for the series tomorrow. We'll be right back here tomorrow. Carlos Villanueva. Stay tuned. Connected. Coming right up.